here, which is, why did you decide to make the move to America in the first place?
Anna, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, so for me, education has always been like really important to me. So being able to go out to America and, you know, get that balance of getting a degree and having at the same time high quality coaching and using amazing facilities to develop as a player was really big for me. And the experiences I've also now gained from being out there, they're great, and I really wouldn't have changed it. But the big thing for me was being able to get that balance.
I think for me, it's not often you really get the chance to move to another country, let alone move to another country, get a college degree and play football. So it was like one of the most amazing opportunities ever. And it was hard, obviously. I'm an Arsenal girl. Both Anna and I supported Arsenal through up until now and forever, probably. So having to come away from the club was obviously tough, but the opportunity to have an amazing life experience that probably would be few and far between anyway, but was at our doorstep, was something that you kind of can't really turn down. And like Anna said, don't regret it one day.
Absolutely. And Adam's asked, how hard was that decision to leave London, leave Arsenal, go play your football in America at such a young age? It's quite a brave decision that both of you took. I'm
going to say there were tears. I'm not sure about you, Anna, but it was super emotional, just because, yeah, this was our childhood. This was where we'd been for so many years. And when you step out of that like comfort zone, in a sense, things are scary. And yeah, you've got the family aspect on top of that, and you've got the culture aspect, and just so many things that are so different that you don't really know, stepping out of that comfort zone.
Yeah, it was definitely daunting thinking about leaving England, but I think it had built up the excitement as well for me to go over there and, like Lotte was saying, experience something that was just kind of like a dream and the opportunity we had. So it was definitely sad waving off to my parents at Heathrow that day I left, but yeah, I wouldn't have changed it.
Brilliant. So moving on to your time in America, the first question we've got here is, what was the transition from the academy at Arsenal into the NCAA system like? How did that go?
I think I often speak about this just with people who maybe want to go over to the States or who have been in the States. We can kind of agree that it's extremely physical, and they focus on the aspects that maybe at Arsenal they didn't focus on. So it was nice to have a sort of like a well-rounded education in football already by the age of 21, and now coming back, I feel like I'm able to take tools from the technical tactical side that I developed in the Arsenal Academy, which was top class of course, but also being able to have that physical aspect to your game that you get in the States. All the cliche like sweating, weight, like just going hard that you see in films, and yeah, it is like the films. Don't you think, Anna?
Yeah, no, I'm laughing because it really is. They're beasts out there. Like, some girls are, honestly, I feel like they're athletes before they're soccer players over there, and some coaches especially, like, they search for the athletes before like the quality of a player, because they're like, they know they can gain that at their college or whatever. So sometimes you do come against some really strong, athletically built girls, definitely.
So you've kind of touched on how playing football in the US compares to being in England, but is there anything from like the way of playing in America that's influenced your game today? Like, has anything kind of come back with you?
I would just say that when I was out in America, I got the benefit of lots of individual coaching. So I would have individual video sessions where they were nitpicking the little aspects of my game that I needed to improve. And I'm really like happy that I was able to have that, because it's something that's understandably overlooked when you reach professional settings, because it's more how will the team, you know, play against this team on Sunday, and it's the bigger tactics of you as team players rather than you as the individual. So that's something I've definitely gained from being out there, are just those like little added extra things you can add to your game that takes you to the next level.
Yeah, I guess similar to Anna, they were really focusing on the individual, and I guess aside from that, also off the pitch, focusing on the confidence, the character of the player. And I was lucky enough to be coached under Anton Dorrance, whose philosophy is amazing in the sense that he doesn't just focus on you as a player, but he knows that if you're going to go out on the pitch on Sunday at 10 a.m, you've also got to be living a life that suits that, and a life that you can enjoy, that can bring you happiness, that can actually be what foundations your football. And he was someone that has really added to my game from that, and I'm going to bring that with me to my whole life, I think.
Absolutely. Is there any advice that you would give yourself if you could kind of go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice before you went to America and played in the NCAA system? Is there one piece of advice you could give yourself looking back?
Oh, that's a hard one.
You got one, Anna?
No, I'm just thinking of funny stuff about being able to adjust to the culture over there rather than the actual like football and how to play and everything.
I'd say start hydrating now. Like I'd say like even like 2 years before going across. In North Carolina, it was so humid. I think I probably sweat like 5 gallons a day.
Yep.
So drink as much as you can.
Just prepare for 2 years, just drinking water for 2 years before you go.
Yeah, I think I'm hydrated for life now.
Brilliant. So the return back to Arsenal, obviously, was it in your mind during your time in the US? Was it always part of the plan to come back to England and hopefully rejoin Arsenal and kind of continue in that vein of form that you left in after the spring series?
Both Anna and I were part of the spring series team, and we built up quite a good relationship with a lot of the girls and the coaches and the management. So in a sense, it felt quite fitting that we continue to keep in contact with the girls, keep in contact with the coaches, and we were both lucky to come back and in the times that we were home from the States, so like Christmas and summer, we were able to train with the girls, and that was super distinct, being able to make that direct parallel between America and England, and yeah, like obviously coming back to those training sessions when we did come back, it was like a massive ramp up in pace and in the technical side. So from that standpoint, I always knew that was the next level, and obviously colleges only takes you so far, and you're only so old. But it was definitely a goal that I'd set, and I guess when you set goals or when you set intentions, you never really know what they're gonna play out. So it was always on my mind, always chatting about it, and it sort of felt like it came full circle when it actually came to fruition. And yeah, I don't only feel lucky, but I also feel like it's been part of the work that I'm here today, having been able to keep tabs on it and keep invested in my game with Arsenal, which is good.
Yeah, Lotte answered that one perfectly. What she said.
So moving on from your time in the States, obviously you're both back now with the Arsenal, both professionals with Arsenal. Chris has said welcome back. As you are supporters of the club, you've come through the academy from an early age. Do you feel any additional pressure to give more back in terms of effort? Is that pressure a little bit higher because you are fans, you've been at the club for so long? How does it affect it?
100% there's more pressure, but I think it's like really good pressure, and it's that want to be so good, to be an Arsenal player and perform at the highest quality you can for the badge, because being an Arsenal fan and growing up, you know, playing for Arsenal, it's really been a dream. So now, you know, we want to be the best we can in training. To help support the team and help be the best players we can be, and to develop as best as we can to hopefully win games and win trophies. Because
it's like, I don't know, Anna probably feels the same, but like you feel like a kid again, and in a sense, that's how you want to be playing, like with the enjoyment of it, with the nice colours. I love the red, obviously, but yeah, there is obviously also a bit of pressure that comes with that, and we've actually just been on a call with the academy kids, and bless them, seeing their faces as they're looking up to us. I was just thinking, like, that was me once upon a time, so I kind of feel like we're trying to lead the way for them as well and show them that it is possible, because there were so many international players coming in and big time players, but knowing that it's also possible to come through the academy and make it is invaluable, and I think Anna and I are trying to do that for them as well, those girls.
Brilliant. And how has Arsenal and the WSL changed, in your opinion, since you've been away in the States? Were there players that you were really excited to play with when you kind of knew that you were coming back to the club?
As I said, like, the pedigree of players that this league is attracting is unbelievable. You want to be playing against the best opposition week in, week out, and obviously you've got the Champions League, but that only comes around like 5 games a year if you're lucky, and if you qualify. So it's amazing to be able to put yourself up against the best week in, week out, and obviously we've got the best in training as well with our players. So that's definitely something that the WSL has added to it this afternoon.
Yeah, no, it definitely has just come on leaps and bounds. I feel like from 3 or 4 years ago, however long it was when we used to be playing in it, and it's really just exciting to come back into it and be able to compete against the players there are in training, let alone the players you play against on a Sunday. So yeah.
This question was asked by quite a few people, and it's quite a nice way to kind of round off this little section about Arsenal. So what do you both hope for your future at Arsenal? What do you want to achieve at the club?
I think that's why we play football at the end of the day. You could say art to enjoy it, art to make good friends. At the end of the day, that all boils down to winning. You're happy if you're winning. And I think we've got a lot of potential in the team, not just with Anna and I. Obviously, we're young, we're learning, and it helps when you've got such experienced players around. So yeah, short and sweet, win.
Yep. Definitely.
So moving away from your careers a little bit, we've got some questions for both of you. So Leah and Richard have asked, what do you miss most about playing football in front of fans? Do you think it affects your performance?
I think fans really do add to every game, like that rush you feel when they're cheering you on, and that's when you score a goal or the team scores a goal. We're very rarely the people to score goals, but it's just such an amazing feeling. And obviously Arsenal's such a big club with such a big fan base, and having that support for games used to be amazing, and I used to love it. So yeah, definitely missing that, and missing that extra boost you get from the 12th man, as they call it.
Yeah, and I was just saying that actually, so when I scored my first goal, which I'm still buzzing about, by the way, obviously the fans weren't there, but it's amazing how social media can still make you feel so like close to them in a sense. The messages mean the world, and they're just little check-ins and as well. They mean the world. So while you're not hearing, and I said it's the 12th man, it's I guess an 11.5 man. What we get through social media, if that works. So yeah, that means the world as well. Yeah.
Absolutely, we're definitely very excited to be able to welcome everyone back to Meadow Park just as soon as we can. We've had one from Maisie and Juana here, which is, who would be your dream signing to play alongside for Arsenal?
Ooh, good question. All right, I would say dream signing to play alongside. I've always thought that Julia, the American player, is such a good player. And I remember at the She Believes Cup, the most recent one, I was in the stands watching the game of US England, and she just stopped everything in England's tracks. I don't know if I should be saying that, but she was just such a strong defensive midfield player who just kind of runs the show. So she's definitely someone I would love to play against. Play alongside.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to second that, Anna. I'd love her in the 4 in front of me. Yeah. She just sweep up anything. Yeah. Yeah, as well.
Brilliant. Mary Kate's asked, which footballers did you admire growing up?
I think it was the first question about who made us feel welcome. It was Casey Stoney. I looked up to her. I remember being an academy kid, and we'd get, I think, 3 tickets to the Royal game, and I'd be buzzing to go watch her. Just watching her prowess and quality on the ball. From centre back to centre back, it was really nice to be able to watch that, and she was a big role model to me.
I would say Kim Little. I remember watching her as a youngster back in the day when she was herself very young, playing in the Arsenal team, and she would just be the little midfield maestro, pulling strings and scoring these incredible goals at Boreham Wood, and I feel so honoured to be able to train with her now.
Absolute legends. Marieke and Layla have asked, what are your best memories playing together and, of course, against each other?
Ooh.
We've had some good times.
We definitely have. I'd say England under 15 debuts. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Playing centre back together against Holland. Even bigger for you, beating Holland twice. With that, must have been nice. And I would say also the game against City in the spring series, when we were back there together at the stadium over in City and able to stop them scoring goals and to win that game, was such a good feeling, because there's always that kind of rivalry between City and Arsenal in the WSL. So that was a great memory playing with Lotte.
I'm going to add in one, Anna. I guess the whole tournament out in Amman, Jordan.
Yeah.
Playing at a World Cup anyway, unreal, but to be doing it alongside you, it was super nice.
Yeah. And then throughout our college careers, being against each other, and actually Florida State, so for my first 2 years I was at Florida State, and UNC have quite a rivalry. So that was a very different experience, because there's everyone getting so really wanting to beat UNC, and I'm playing against one of my best friends. I'm like, oh God, it was tough, and we came against each other in some big finals. Don't know if Lotte would want me to mention them, but but they were tough. It was tough playing against her. It's much better being on the same team as Lotte than against her.
It's nice though, Anna. I feel like we push each other regardless of what team we're on. Even if we do win in the big final game. How many people watching that game? I think 5,000, 4,000.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's great.
A friendly rivalry.
Yes.
Joseph's asked, what do you do to prepare for games? Does it change based on the opposition, or is it similar each week?
I think it's good going into every game with the same mindset. Obviously, that's hard, easier said than done. When you're coming up against a Chelsea versus a Bristol, but at the end of the day, you're playing the same game, same white lines, same goals, and when it comes to the WSL, when it comes to winning the league, you've got to be consistent, and that's kind of what we strive for in the dressing room, being able to win every game. So you go into it with the same mindset, and I guess the preparation is the same from that standpoint, just so you keep it consistent and looking to win every game.
On an individual basis, like I would say I'm quite a relaxed person, so no matter who we're playing, I do just like kind of being relaxed, not getting too stressed out about games, and I can't say I have any superstitions or anything like that. I just like relaxing really before a game, I would say.
That makes me sound like a stresshead. No, I definitely don't stress. We'll probably be chatting in the changing room, probably dancing again.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Gigi's asked, why did you choose your specific shirt number, and does it hold a special meaning for you, or is it just the easiest number to pick? Oh, we can't hear you that much, Lotte. Oh.
You just went away a bit. I'll start. I'll tell you my number while she's sorting that out. So for me, I actually didn't know what numbers were available, and I just got sent a message once. It was like, Joe thinks you'd probably like the number 4. It's available if you'd like it. And he was right. I would like the number 4, and it has a little bit of meaning to me in the sense that's the number I had for my final 2 years in college. So it's kind of nice kind of going from number 4 at South Carolina in keeping and staying with that number now at Arsenal.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, to me, it just seems like a whole number. Like, a lot of good things come in threes, like triplets and like the power of 3 and whatnot. So it felt like a nice bit of armory to have on the back of my shirt. I don't know. It felt whole. It also is half of the number 23, which was my number at college, and obviously Michael Jordan's number. I think it's a great number too.
Very strong numbers. Hopefully there'll be a lot of memories to those numbers in 5 years' time. When we're looking back, there'll be a nice association to the numbers. So Kez has asked, kind of again in the same vein as pre-match build-up, what do players do to try and avoid injury? Do you have warm-down routines, like foam rollers, massages? How do you try and avoid injuries?
So we have quite a diligent strength and conditioning team with us who put us through our paces, not only on game day but in the games leading up to it. And I think honestly that's probably what prevents most injuries. It's what you do in the gym, and it's what you do on the daily. So not just foam rolling after a game or doing yoga. So I definitely think being diligent every day, also eating the right things. That's what really will make the difference in stopping you getting injured.
And lots of sleep.
Yeah, lots of sleep. You like your naps, don't you, Anna?
I'm a big person on naps. You can't beat a power nap.
Actually, that is why I call you Nana. I call her Nana Patton. Partly because she naps a lot, and that's what grannies do. But it's all right. You play like a 21-year-old. So
thank you.
I'm sure that'll be all on social media later, so don't worry about it.
Sorry, Anna.
I'm an old granny at heart. I don't mind that.
We've got a would you rather from Ronnie. So would you rather win the Champions League with Arsenal or the World Cup with England?
Oh, Ronnie, what are you doing to us? Both. In the same year, that would be quite a nice year, wouldn't it?
That would be.
You have to say World Cup because that's the greatest achievement you can have, is being a World Cup champion. Like you can't say being a World Cup champion. It really is. You're the best in the world.
I'm just thinking back to I think it was the 2018 World Cup. Was that the one in Russia?
Yeah.
And I just remember Shoreditch being absolute, like, the people on the streets. This was obviously pre-COVID. The pubs were full, like the screens were out. It like ignited a whole nation. And unfortunately, the whole nation here isn't Arsenal supporters. So obviously that's a different story if you win the Champions League. But yeah, can you imagine the whole of England? That would be unreal. That would be unreal.
It's hard to pick one, so thank you for giving it a go. We've got some questions for you, Lotte, here. So Leontine has asked, do you speak Dutch during games and training with the Dutch players? If so, do the non-Dutch players also understand what you're saying?
Yeah, so we were actually the other day, Dan brought in hagelsag. And hagelsag, for those of you who don't know, is it's chocolate sprinkles. And I was actually explaining it to Anna because these are probably the best things you can ever get in Holland. And it probably took us about 10 minutes to stop chatting about hagelsag, and we were doing it all in Dutch, so like no one else could understand. So it sounded like we were talking about something really in depth, but really we were just talking about chocolate sprinkles. So yeah, I do speak in Dutch quite a bit. It feels like a bit of a secret language at times, but obviously there's 4 of us who speak it, and actually Lisa can speak Dutch as well, which is pretty nifty of her. I think she can speak German as well. So it's quite fun being able to have like a little special language that Anna does not understand, but I try to translate as much as possible for those around us. So yeah.
I feel like Lisa.
I feel like I'm not part of the club. I'm always. They'll have their little. You know.
I've taught you some Dutch, Anna. Don't you remember?
I know. I actually also know a few bad words based on when people make mistakes in training and their Dutch responses. But sometimes I do turn to whoever's closest in their in English, please, and then they'll fill me in, so I don't feel too left out. But I do like the little Dutch society. Maybe I should learn. Try and be part of it.
Yeah, get on Duolingo, Anna.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, a lot of nationalities in the squad. I think Lisa's probably the only person who can communicate with everybody effectively.
It's unreal. She's very talented. Very talented.
Another one for you, Lotte. We've got one from Florence here, which is just asking, how was your lockdown birthday?
Oh, thank you, Florence, for that question, for rubbing it in that I had a birthday in a lockdown. It was fine, just with my family. So I'm still at my house with my family here in East London. So at least I had a few people around. I love cooking, so we had a nice meal and really enjoyed that. I think in this time you've got to enjoy the little things, and that was one thing that I really enjoyed, cooking a good meal. So it was very enjoyable. Thank you very much.
Good stuff. And we got a couple for you, Anna. So the first one from Philip being, how did you pass the time during the frequent flight trips between the UK and the US?
I would have to say the films really helped me pass the time, but I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced this, but I don't know what it was, but I'd always get like super emotional on plane journeys. So one minute I'll be watching a film, I'm laughing out loud and I'm looking around like, why am I just like laughing so loudly at this film? And then the next bit I'll be sobbing my eyes out at this movie. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? But yeah, no, I would go on emotional roller coasters watching movies. I'd say that's how I pass the time.
And I wasn't on a flight with you, Anna.
No, you wouldn't want to be seen next to me, honestly. Yeah.
Embarrassing.
We've got one more for you, Anna, from Kylie, which is, who is one player you can't wait to learn from?
Oh, that's a great question. I've really enjoyed training with Jem Beattie so far. I think she's such a composed player on the ball, and she's always there to offer words of wisdom and encouragement, especially. Obviously, it's hard coming from the college back into the professional level and standard and quality of play, and sometimes you're not always at the same standard. But she's someone who's really, pushing me and helping me, and helping me if I do ever do anything good. She's really positive, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, she's just such a calm, composed player on the ball, something I strive to be like. So yeah, I'd definitely say Jen.
Good stuff. So to wrap things up, we've just got a few questions that are not necessarily to do with football, but I'm going to put them to you both. So firstly, Charlotte has asked, what is your favourite cheat meal?
I love a good Indian. I have such a nice Indian curry house near me, and I love it. Sharing all the different curries, naan bread, poppadoms, all the work, so many different flavours. I love it.
Anna, what's your favourite? What curry is your favourite?
Oh, I quite like a good lamb Rogan Josh.
Oh, very nice. I don't even know what that is. What kind of curry is that?
It's kind of like tomatoey based. The lamb's really tender, good flavours. I also think an underappreciated curry is just the classic vegetable curry.
Yeah, I agree.
Vegetables, yeah, taka dal, you name it.
Mine would be I love pizza, really love pizza, but not the American type. The thick. I don't like the thick ones. I'm a bit of a snob. I like the Neapolitan, like the Italian ones. Very good, very good.
So on the subject of food, what is your favourite pre-match meal? Obviously not a pizza in an Indian, but what would you eat before a match?
Oh,
in the mornings for me, it's just a big bowl of porridge, like Goldilocks, massive bowl of porridge with a bit of banana. That keeps you. I feel like I'm fueled for a day after a bowl of porridge.
Yeah. I have to agree. I love my porridge in the morning, but also as like a little snack, I love a good, this is quite American, PB&J as they would say, peanut butter and jam sandwich. Just hits the spot.
David, you don't like that? You don't like that?
Sure, it's not a fan of a PB&J.
Not a combo that I'd try, but it's. That's what it is. Isabella's asked, what do you like to do in your free time? Have you got any hobbies, things you like to do to take your mind off of football after training?
One of my favourite things to do at the moment, especially in lockdown, it's going to sound so boring, quite Nana-like of me, is to go on a nice walk. I feel like that's what everyone does these days, is go out on a nice walk. But unfortunately, I live literally like on the edge of countryside, so I can walk and I'm out basically in the fields, and I just think it's so calm and peaceful, and I just love walking and having a chat with whoever I'm with. So yeah, a nice walk.
Mine would be picking up a book and reading, whatever book it may be. I think it is very calming, very calming. I also love going for a walk, and we should go for a walk sometime. Actually, that's probably not allowed.
No, probably not.
I'll stay here, you stay there. I'll walk on my own here, you walk on your own.
A virtual walk together.
Yeah, I'll give you a FaceTime. I'll show you the concrete, you show me the grass.
Yeah, sounds good.
San has asked, what would you do if you weren't a football player?
I'd love to do something creative. So my mum's in fashion, dad's in like furniture, and my sister's in graphic design. So I feel a bit like I'm the odd one out anyway, doing sport. So I'd love to do something creative. I love to draw. So anything along those lines, I think that's really. I love that kind of stuff.
Lotte once actually, as a birthday card, draw this little sketch of. So one of our England coaches named us the Twin Towers because we were both back at centre back together, and she did this little sketch of these twin towers together. I loved it. She does have a flair for creativity, which I can say I have zero, nothing. Hated art, was never good at it. So that's definitely not the route I would take. I have no idea what I would do. I feel like something like active PE teacher, coach, maybe. I feel like I'd have to still be involved in football in some sort of way.
And I feel like you're an avid swimmer. Like, I think you're quite good at swimming.
You think I'm good at swimming?
Or is that, have I got you wrong? Are you not good at swimming?
We both nearly drowned in the Pacific.
Oh.
That in LA.
That's a good story, actually. Well, it's not a good story, but we went, what was it? Under 17s, actually, when we were in LA, we went to Venice Beach, and I think both Anna and I have got like a bit of an excitement for adrenaline, like that just like excites us, I think. And everyone else was like just like pitter pattering around with their feet in the shore, and Anna and I were just like, why not? Let's go for a swim. Obviously, the England coaches were gathering as we got out a bit, and then there were these massive waves, and I could see from the water everyone stressing out, and Anna and I were like, oh, we're fine, like just having a dip.
I don't know if I had the same thoughts, actually, because I'd realised that actually the current had taken us a bit further than I'd hoped to have gone, and as I was trying to swim back to shore, it was just pushing me further back. I was like, we're done here, we're goners. But
oh no, I had no doubt in my mind that we'd be fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Luckily the current changed and we were back before some coaches were already ready to dive in and try and save us.
Okay, maybe not a swimmer for you then. That's fine.
No, me and swimming, no, but something active, definitely.
The final question that I'm going to put to you both is a question from Livy, and obviously, I mean, this has been great fun, and I hope everyone else has found this as entertaining as I have. But you've both got such positive attitudes. Livy has asked what tips you can give her to help her to keep a positive attitude during this really difficult time.
I would just say, like, find stuff that you do enjoy and do it. Like, don't feel guilty doing the things you enjoy. Like, make sure if you like having a piece of chocolate a night, have a piece of chocolate a night. If you enjoy, like, take this time to just enjoy the simple things, and that, chat to people that you might not be able to have chatted to before, and now you have more time in your hands, reach out to people, and yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't put it any better, I think. I also think, like, smiling can go a long way, and obviously we're not able to really smile in the shops or whatever, but like if you're going for a walk, like at a safe distance, of course, like just smile at whoever's walking by, and oftentimes they'll return it, and it makes you feel a little bit better as well. So just stay positive, and I'm sure we will get through this, and hopefully see you all soon at Boreham Wood.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, girls, and thank you, members, for joining us. We'll hopefully schedule in the next one soon, but until then, stay safe, and we can't wait to see you soon.
Thank you so much, David. Bye, everyone.
Bye.